Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, it's John Kirk. We're here with Minister of Tourism for the Bahamas, the Honorable Dionisio.
You got it right.
I know, I get so good at these names. Last week we had the SVP of Sales for NCA for. Oh gosh, it was a very complicated, long Greek last name, which is very good. So thanks very much for spending the time with us today. You're in Toronto. You're spreading the good word of the Bahamas. I gotta say, we're at Hotel X, just as a shout out, and this venue is spectacular. So kudos to the team in Toronto that selected the venue. Anyway,
it is wonderful, and it accents the grey and grimness of living in the north and how you should come to the Bahamas.
Oh, right in there. Anyway, so on that note, there's this misconception, I think, from the consumer's perspective, and for some reason or other, our view is that it's trickled to the trade as well, that the Bahamas, in totality, or certainly for the most part, has been affected by the hurricane. But give us an update on that, and you're the Minister of Tourism. You can just dispel all of that immediately to all of our viewers.
So Hurricane Dorian came 1st of September. Impacted significantly our two most northern islands.
Yeah.
And I think in their exuberance to come down to the Bahamas and report about this enormous and massive hurricane and destructive hurricane, the press ended up inadvertently hurting us because they didn't distinguish nor did they detail the geography of the Bahamas. We span about 1,000 kilometers.
Yep.
The storm was about 125 kilometers. So it really impacted a very small portion of our country. And in their exuberance to get the message out, the Bahamas is gone, the Bahamas is devastated. In reality, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yep.
And 90% of our tourism infrastructure was completely unimpacted by this storm.
Wow.
It received no damage, no effects whatsoever. For example, I live in Nassau, which is the capital city of the Bahamas. 75% of our foreign visitors generally come there first, start their vacations in the Bahamas there. There was no impact at all. It was just a windy, breezy day.
Yeah.
And life went on the next day.
Yeah.
So it's just very important for us to get out there, that the Bahamas is very much open for business. The islands of the Bahamas, by and large, were unimpacted by the storm. Yes, Grand Bahama and Abaco have had some effects, were impacted, but the rest of the country were not. I mean, we're a country of 700 islands.
Yep.
We group it to make it easy to dissect.
You put that into perspective. About 700 islands,
two were impacted, but we group our country into 16 different destinations. Right? So for example, Exuma has 365 keys.
Yeah.
So we break it into 16 different destinations. And two of them were impacted. One is now coming back on stream, Grand Bahama. Abaco is going to take a little bit more time because that received the full brunt of the storm.
Yep.
But the rest of the country is open. But, it's just it's amazing.
The world certainly responded with aid and just in general compassion for the people of the Bahamas. We, which we'll do a presentation later, but we were compelled to do a raise for the relief for the GoFundMe. And our tagline that we put out there is that the Bahamas has delivered millions of smiles to all of our clients in the travel trade. It's time to thank them and to pay back. So how do you feel just the response globally or within North America for sure? How did it feel to be the Minister of Tourism, to feel that much love?
I mean the response has been overwhelming. It is amazing how many people, when they heard what happened to Grand Bahama and Abaco, how they rose to the occasion to assist. I mean, obviously our neighbors in Florida, there's a close connection between South Florida and the Bahamas, and they rose to the occasion massively to assist us, especially in the immediate time after the storm. So it has been tremendous, the response to help the Bahamas kind of rebound from this. But I always say that the best way you can help us is to visit us.
Yep.
Over 50% of our GDP is derived from tourism. 2 out of every 3 Bahamians is employed in the tourism sector. So if you want to help us, come to the parts of the country that were not impacted. Come back, just make a decision. Okay, I'm going to help in this way. I'm going to come on a holiday. I'm going to go to Exuma. I'm going to go to Eleuthera. I'm going to go to Nassau. I'm going to have a great time, and that's going to generate income for the Bahamians, and they're going to be able to help their brothers and sisters in the northern part of the country.
And just real quick, because we're trying to keep this in a certain time limit, because we know how long people have an attention span for. So, what's new? What's coming down the pipe, do you think?
So we've got some new hotels in Nassau. We've got a Margaritaville coming on stream, and certainly in the Family Islands, there's a plethora of boutique hotels that are always coming on stream. People love the beauty and the quaintness and the uniqueness of our other islands. So when you're planning your vacation, generally most people go to Nassau. But what we're trying to encourage people is to be a little bit more adventurous and go off to our other islands. They're all very different. All these 16 different destinations are all very different, very unique, very culturally different.
Yep.
So, be adventurous. Go off and explore. I always say, this is what I like to say, that if you're looking for a Caribbean holiday, we have so many different options that there's really no other reason for you to go anywhere else.
Well, I think that pretty much makes it a wrap. You close it up like that. Thank you very much for taking the time with us today, and good luck this afternoon for a great event. If you don't already, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter or follow us on Facebook, and thank you very much, Guest Minister, for today.
Thank you so much.
Okay.